What do you call a dog who can do magic? A labracadabrador. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Today, let's talk about our best 3v3 offense teams because it's exciting. Actually, 3v3 is kind of fun. It's a nice change of pace for things. We also have a defensive teams video that you guys can check out at the same time. I'm releasing them at the same time as each other. Defense teams is going to be linked at the in the video description or at the end of this video. If you just want to wait, you can just click on it. So anyways, huge shout out to my patrons. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for your support. I really couldn't do this without you guys. And if you want to support this channel for free, folks, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Can you please mount the algorithm? Please mount my algorithm. Sounds personal. Let's get into the game, shall we, guys? Whoa, we're in the game. This is madness. So, offense. This is going to be a weird season, folks, in the sense that we don't have the overpowered pointy teeth Ray Datacron anymore. Thank goodness. We also don't. The last 3v3 was so miserable because everyone placed the stupid Kenobi with Ezra team with the Hodacron and the pointy teeth Raycron. Like it's still haunting us in the sense that I'm still apparently making a video about them in small part, but we don't have that anymore. We are going to have Hondo. At least some of us are going to run into Hondo, and so we got to be prepared for that. We're going to be prepared for Jabba being on defense more and more often, and more people are going to be able to defend their Jabba by just using the Sortie-Cron. So how are we going to get through all of those? Like there's a lot of different things. Like there's all those defense crons that some of us were relying on the thick crons for light side are gone. Instead, dark side get them. And so there's going to be some interesting stuff going on this season in terms of offense. I don't care about you, Hux. I mean, on this team. So the big question, of course, becomes what exactly are we going to use for offense? And so I suggested some of these teams, of course, are going to be overlap in terms of offense and defense comps. And I think that on offense, sometimes you don't even need Hux here. I think if you use the First Order Special Forces Datacron, which I don't actually have yet, I can't seem to roll it, but if you get that, if you use the First Order Special Forces type pilot Datacron, then they have to kill Kylo before they kill the pilot, and so you could end up killing like most stuff. This is we've already had this cron before, and it's really good. And I really think that after week 2 or after week 1. Probably put it on defense team or week 1 just to mess with people because people aren't used to dealing with it, and then after that probably keep it for offense because people are going to start having, I mean, the defenses are just increasingly going to be made up of like a huge number of galactic legends, just because everyone's got a huge number of galactic legends now, at least in the end game. Meanwhile, we also on offense, for the first time, we're talking about Tarkin on offense, and at least on these videos. Apparently, this is the new social contract, folks. So we used to say that placing, and this is a long time ago. So here's a fun history lesson. We used to place Fin Poe. Zora didn't exist at that point on defense. It was a very potent, if you will, defensive team. And honestly, like sometimes people just couldn't clear it, as crazy as that sounds. And so the one thing that you could do to beat it, though, every time was you could use what even was, wedge lead with Han and Chewie could counter that. And so it was like everyone placed that team, and in return, we all used the same team to counter it. That was just that's what we called the social contract. I don't know. So those were simpler days, folks. But now apparently these guys just kill Tuskens. So if people are placing Tuskens on defense, apparently the Moff, Tarkin, and company delete the Tuskens very easily. We haven't tested this squad without datacrons yet, though. Like all the clone datacrons just went away, so we'll have to see. Our mileage may vary, but I'm interested to see how it all turns out. So the Eternal Emperor, we may end up using him with Bane sometimes to kill like the various Ahsoka builds if they don't have Ezra. But otherwise, and apparently. So there's going to be there's the age-old question: where is Ezra? Because which is kind of fitting given his character and past. But if Ezra is going to be with Rey as the third member on a Rey team, then we probably want to use Leia on that team. Like Leia's probably going to follow wherever Ezra is, and so a lot of times, however, we can use the Eternal Emperor plus Bane to take out either a Rey team that doesn't have Ezra on it, or an Ahsoka team that doesn't have Ezra on it. So I would expect that this season, at least, we'll end up seeing Bane on this team a decent amount. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, so then we've got Leia on offense. Like I said, like Leia is going to be, I mean, she's good on defense too, honestly. It seems to me that we're going to be using Leia a lot on offense again, just because she's so versatile. I mean, if your opponent doesn't place both Rey and Ahsoka, then you can use this to counter like pretty much everything. Like maybe not Supreme Leader Kylo, if he has pointed teeth Rey with them, but then there are other things that can counter that. This is. Yeah, Leia, she's just too valuable on offense, guys. Too versatile. Work on your Drogans. He's a gem. He's a keeper. All right, so we got Kenobi, JMK, and then of course you can use like Mace or whatever, like a tank here probably. It's offense, so you can kind of, I mean, you could just do you could add snips to the team as well. And the problem with Kenobi, guys, and if you want to scout your opponents and see what they have and stuff, the problem with Kenobi is he dies to Bo-Katan real easy. Even Bo-Katan without the Rolocron. Remember, the Rolocron lets as long as it's a non-Galactic Legend team, you can every time one of your, well, this is light side teams, but every time one of your character does something, then the other ones all assist and attack. So it calls mass assist the whole time. Even without the Rolocron, however, Bo-Katan is still deleting this team very, very consistently on defense. And so is Baylan, actually. Without a good Datacron, Baylan just annihilates, eviscerates Kenobi, unfortunately. Like there's two pretty cheap teams, and then of course like Inquisition beat it, and like all the standard stuff beats it. Like unfortunately this used to be the pinnacle of defensive teams, as crazy as that may sound to some of you. It used to be, and he just doesn't belong on defense anymore. Especially we're gonna see Jabba a lot. My guess is that we end up using Kenobi to take out Jabba quite a bit. The Jabba teams with the thick Kron, it's not going to be as pervasive and tough because it's a mixed team, so it's not going to have as huge of bonuses, but people can get the health or protection characteristic on Jabba teams pretty high, and Kenobi is going to be a decent way to manage that. So I think on offense, he just kind of belongs on offense. Plus, he shuts down turn meter shenanigans that people have, which could be very useful at times, especially because there's the turn meter 20. The whole team gets plus 25% turn meter cron. The preload is what people are calling it, cron. So level 3. So yeah, it'll be nice to have him. Baylan. So I think a lot of people are going to keep him for offense. A lot of people keep him like this is kind of a swing team where they sometimes you want to keep him for offense, sometimes like whatever. I see him as like I don't know, if you have 14 really or 15 really solid teams on defense, then don't bother adding him. Like he'll actually be able to take some stuff out. We still have the Merrick Kron. As your opponent is foolish enough to put Kenobi on defense, Balin will take him out. Balin will take out like any like Malgus teams. He does good against a lot of different things. He's very strong on offense and honestly on defense too. The problem is on defense, Jedi Master Luke doesn't have too much to do, and so Jedi Master Luke will a lot of times see a Balin team and be like, hey, I finally have a use for once in my frickin' life. And Balin will be like, yeah, you do. You can actually, yay for you. You have someone you can beat. Jedi Master Luke is just not well suited to threes. And so the discussion, of course, you can get the current Datacron set. You can get a ton of protection. And so if you can roll a bunch of protection for Jedi Master Luke, you might be able to chew through like a Lord Vader team. I wouldn't really count on it, but I mean, you might be able to. That's a big question mark, of course. Like, are we going to be able to take out those crazy Lord Vader clone teams with Jedi Master Luke? If we have enough protection on the Kron, let's find out. We'll find out together. All right, so of course you can do any mix of Jedi. I really like keeping a lot of different Jedi teams available, or characters available, just so you can mix and match. Remember, if people are taking that Ahsoka team with Watt, and so a lot of times people put Ezra with Rey, and then they'll put Ahsoka with Watt and another Spectre character. And Watt just gives the pre-taunt or the perma-taunt to Ahsoka, and the really fun counter is Revan can just delete her eventually because he can reduce her her health to like 1, and then you eventually take her out. And actually for that comp you do need Jedi Cal, and then a third Jedi, a lot of times a tank or a healer. Like Jolie is actually not bad here, just so you can revive them if one of them dies, but that won't always be the case. You won't always run into that. Hopefully you get some context clues based on what your opponent has placed. If you see Ezra in one place, you know that at least you can infer and hope that they don't have a second Ezra somewhere else. So sometimes that'll be great, sometimes. But Jedi Revan is still such a versatile team. Like Revan, Cal, and Jedi Knight Luke, like the three of them just combined to be like such a good team. They're fun. They're neat. Maul's taking a step back because the ISC Kron is no longer here. The Gar Saxon Kron is no longer here. I kind of miss it. I was really starting to use that Maul team quite a bit. And you just have to see, like, you can beat a lot of teams with this squad. If your opponent has General Skywalker on defense, like this little, who you gonna call? That sometimes you'll better call Maul. So I mean, otherwise this Maul gets benched a lot in threes, unfortunately. That's just how it works. So get used to that. All right, Bane, if he's not going to go with Sith the Eternal Emperor like we were talking about, he can go hang out with Sith Assassin. I mean, he's still hunting everything, right? Like I think he probably does fine against Supreme Leader Kylo, for instance. He does pretty good against pretty much everything. So yeah, good for you, Darth Bane. He's cool. He'll do his thing. You guys know. We'll see a lot of Queen Amidala's on defense again this season, and honestly, I think Traya probably is my go-to counter for that. Because she's not overpowered anymore. But if you don't want to use Traya, if you have Traya for something else, Bane is another option for that. I think that's gonna be like the most standard thing. Traya, though, I don't know. I think Traya just she kills all the things. General Skywalker on offense. Honestly, guys, it bleeds banners, and there's nothing that it's specifically great against except maybe like Tuskens, maybe. I guess, would be okay. Just because they disallow revives. I mean, anything that revives all the time, Skywalker obviously does okay. And now we all have a shiny Relic 9 Skywalker because of Hondo requirements, or at least that's what they want us to have. Commander Luke, he does have a Datacron, and it seems pretty good. I don't know that it's going to get a ton of use in 3s, frankly. I think in 5s it'll end up being pretty nice. All right, Treya teams. So let's see. The Gungans are way less obnoxious now because they don't have their stupid Datacron. I hope CG just nerfs. I hope that they do something with Relic Delta. They do something like, hey, I know we're just normally doing we're just trying to redistribute all the different levels, you know, to meet all of our goals. But also, in addition to that, Relic Delta will also nerf Gungans into the ground. I mean, earmuffs, Calvin, if you're watching. But that would be nice. That's just a side tangent, though. Meanwhile, Gungans probably get beat by like pretty much everything that used to beat them. But they're still a tough team to beat sometimes. Atreya will destroy them every time, pretty much, unless Jar Jar gets his like 1 in 10,000 auto delete, which he did against me a while ago. Actually, I think we all thought it was. We were like, whoa, that never happens. And then I lost, and it was very sad. All right, Revan can go with Malgus if you want, or if you have the Zalbar Omicron, you could maybe find a plug-and-play use for it. Like, plug-and-play characters are just not as useful in 3s as they are in 5s, but you could do that, of course. Like, Zalbar would be nice on, like, a Dash team, for instance, but Darth Revan, it's a really nice offensive team, of course. The problem is you start the fight with -3 banners that you just can't recover. Like, mission just dies, and that's it. It's very sad. It's tragic. And not that she dies, just that she costs us banners. How dare she? She's inconveniencing us by her not being around, and then she's inconveniencing us with a lower score. It's very rude of her. Malgus, I think on offense, Malgus is going to take down a lot of stuff this season. Honestly, I think the one that's the most interesting to me is going to be Malgus. Destroy. Well, I don't think it's going to destroy. Like, I think a lot of people are going to get destroyed by like Inquisition, for instance. Malgus can do it, but I think a lot of people are gonna have bad experiences with that. You might want Darth Revan here instead of Basti as the 3rd if you face Inquisition, and I don't think it's gonna be a guaranteed thing anyways. Inquisition are gonna be very challenging to beat on offense this season, and I think we have another social contract in the works for that. Let's see, Dark Trooper Moff Gideon is like, he'll take down some stuff. You could add Night Trooper here instead of Scout or Moff Gideon, of course, because of the Night Trooper Cron. But like a Qui-Gon Jinn team, for instance, on defense is gonna be, it will be beat by this guy all the time. Like, he's just like a very natural counter to Qui-Gon Jinn, honestly. I'd hang on to this. This is a nice card to have in your deck. Sometimes you won't use it, but he's just very tanky and takes down a lot of the, like, people have to place 15 teams in Kyber in 3s, and that leads to a lot of like people just shifting a little bit of garbage down because they feel a little bit like they don't have enough for offense, and so they'll put some garbage team down, and this is like the ultimate garbage sweeper. So it's a pretty good team. Gungans, they're going to be on defense a lot. They'll also they solve a lot on offense. Just remember, you don't have the carpal tunnel, the captain tunnels, carpal tunnels. I can't say his name. He had a really good Datacron where he did a lot of extra damage, did a lot of cool stuff. You don't have that anymore because the Datacron is gone. this still solves a lot of teams, honestly, just because the AI does try to target the shield generator. It's just really tough for them to get enough hits on you. You get all these bonus turns, and you just eventually wipe them out. So this team it'll take out some good stuff. Don't overestimate it though. Like, I would just pump the brakes a little. People were like, "Hey, this kills Jabba every time." Last, was it 3s? Maybe it was 5s. My guess is that they do a little less than they used to. They're still annoying in frogs, but they'll be on defense a lot too. So whatever you want to do. Okay, if you have the Adrad Kron, it's a really fun team with Baze on the team anyways, even if you don't have the Adrad Kron. The thing is, so this is an interesting thought that, so huge shout out to my friend Tom Ferd, by the way, who's I think in the top 20 right now, ranked. He's a really good player. But I'm always consulting with him and trying to find the best compositions. And one thing that he had mentioned that I think is really interesting is, can you actually, so if you're facing an Inquisition team, and this is just a question, I don't know if this will work. He didn't know. It's just like, we'll find out, because we can't test it yet, because we can't have Omicrons in Arena. But what if, so the idea is, if you have the Kron, K2SO has to die before Adrad can die. And Adrad has to die before Jin can die. And so the question is, can you do the AoE with Radis against Inquisition and cleanse your team, therefore giving Adrad the death mark, and then they can't kill K2SO because they're busy hitting Radis, because he's like taunting, right? He has to be hit because he's got death mark on. And so can you eventually just win because Adrad is just tanking all the hits because K2SO is not dead yet? I don't know. It's kind of a really interesting interaction that we'll have to test, but otherwise we'll be able to find things to take this out. We'll see a lot of Iden teams out there, I think, on defense, because that's a Datacron as well. And I think that Adrad and company will end up being able to beat that pretty consistently. Okay, so I just put out a video about how to use Bad Batch, and in 5s at least, and we're going to continue that pursuit in 3s. And honestly, with my understanding of how this works, I mean, it's nice to have Hunter and Batcher for sure, but I really think that the like distilled awesome version of this team is just going to be Omega, Crosshair, and Wrecker. I mean, after learning all about this team, I've kind of written them off as like not that good in the past, and I actually think, I mean, are they absolutely necessary for all the things? Like, not really. Like, for the raid, they're okay. For we don't need to do a whole evaluation on them, but I've been very impressed. This last season has really opened my eyes, and so I'm really hoping in 3s they get some good work done. Remember, Crosshair just ignores protection, and so once he starts actually being able to hit, he can really do a lot. Go watch my video on it, guys. Bad Batch do some good work. I'm curious to see if, like, can they beat Queen Amidala? Probably not. I'm pretty sure not, actually. They can't ignore taunt here. They have nothing. They have no mark here at all, actually. Anyways, okay, so we got Bo-Katan. Now, for almost every comp, you want to have Paz, except if you want to take down Lord Vader, if you want to use the Rolocron. If Lord Vader gets enough health or protection or whatever, like, I think it could end up being these guys like have a tough time. But if you have the Rolocron, I think these guys just demolish Lord Vader for the most part. Like, I think Bo-Katan just ends up being on permanent Lord Vader patrol. That's fine. Wampa, guys, go use Wampa against Jabba and just, find out. Just mess around and find out, guys. FAFO. I don't know if that's going to work. People are going to put the Sordicron with Jabba, and it's going to get real dicey. Otherwise, though, Wampa it's going to be almost impossible to find a Wampa-proof board, frankly, with the Wampa-Cron for one more 3v3 and one more 5v5 season. So go out and have fun with Wampa. Just be judicious about it. I just don't. I'm really curious to see how he does against certain Hondo comps as well. I think some Hondo comps are going to shoot themselves in the foot when they're on defense because they won't be able to do as much damage. Because in threes you can't have everything on all the teams. Okay, so Seer, Malicos, and Scavray. So we're actually, for the first time in a very long time, we're splitting Starkiller off of this team because Starkiller is going to be hunting other things. But this team, so everyone's going to be putting Inquisition on defense, and maybe we use Adrad. And my guess is that's just going to be a very harrowing, scary experience. We'll have to see, but I mean, if the Inquisition can go enough times that the ability block Adrad, so his first turn is just a basic, you might just be screwed. But I mean, that'd be fun to experiment with. I think the much more reliable, and I looked this up, this has like 100% win rate against the Inquisition team. You don't need crew on the team. You could use Maul actually here as the third. If you search on insights, like almost every comp that has a third, like whatever the third member is, like I think out of all the compositions that made sense, like the worst was like a 95% win rate. Scavray though, it's gonna obviously you have the Scavray level 9, where she does a ton of damage. This team is going to be preserved almost exclusively to hunt Inquisition. I mean, I've been enjoying this team on defense actually, at least these two plus Starkiller. But this season, I think they come off of defense and start hunting Inquisition. Afra. So now we're going to start getting into teams that are a little less useful. I mean, here and there. Afra, a lot of times she'll just sit on the bench the whole time. Same with the troopers, but they deserve some kind of recognition for some reason. If your opponent puts CLS on defense with their Kron on, with the CLS Kron, thinking that'll protect them, they probably will not. So that'll be fun for everyone. EP, Mara, and Starkiller, I think actually have some decent utility against Rey this season, at least, just because Rey doesn't have anything. She does have a cool Datacron, I guess, where she gets a lot of ults, but more ults means she does fewer whirlwinds, and the whirlwinds are the things that I'm more scared about in that context. So she doesn't have any defense, and so we'll have to see exactly how it all happens, how it pans out. You might want to, I think a lot of like the Jawa Kron is going to go on Rey a lot because it gives her a ton of extra health and offense and crit avoid. So if you want to be really fancy, maybe put a little bit of crit chance on at least Starkiller so that he's doing real damage. Let's see, Great Mothers, I think there's a decent chance we just throw them on defense again. They don't have... They just don't have the firepower to take out Galactic Legend Ahsoka for the most part. And they're only like against the Queen Amidala teams that everyone's like, oh yeah, they win every time. In 5s, they do win every time against Queen Amidala. In 3s, it's like a 67% win rate in Kyber 1, something like that. So I wouldn't say this is like a good desperation Queen Amidala kill. This team is really fun to use, and they tend to get really good banners. You can also you can use the Night Trooper here with the Night Trooper Kron and get extra damage with him and everything. This team is temporarily a little less interesting. I think there's a nice sister Kron, so they do extra damage. They're still really fun. Like less interesting doesn't mean they're uninteresting. They're just a little bit less. Then we have the other nice sisters. I want to use these guys against Jabba this season because we do have a cool Kron for them. Just a nice sister Kron with extra damage. So use at your own peril. It's not a high percentage win rate, but it is exciting. It's a clinch fest. The Enoch team with the Night Trooper Cron, I think could be pretty good on offense. It's just destroyed. It gets deleted on defense by a ton of things, actually, even with the Night Trooper Cron. So, you know, we might find a compelling way to use Night Trooper this season. Otherwise, we can use them on offense with an Enoch team. They beat a lot of stuff. And then, hey, look, there's a Dash team because everyone loves Dash. And hopefully some people put Jedi Master Luke on defense for us, and we can beat him with that. So that's it, folks. For offense teams, go watch the defensive teams video if you dare. And I'll see you guys there. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails. Oh, and let me know what offense teams you think are good. I would love to hear it, guys. I get ideas from you all the time. Okay, take care.